here propagating my mulberry tree. Actually, I was trimming it up and then realized I should probably just propagate these instead of throwing them away. And of course, I had already started doing this when I thought, hey, I should probably record this. People might want to see how I do this. There's a lot better things I should be doing right now with my time. We have a hurricane forming in the Gulf, and more than likely we're going to have impacts here. We're north, very north Florida, center of the Panhandle, center of the Big Bend. So right now it's aiming for us, majority of the Panhandle. It looks like it's going to just cover us all. There's not really much around here to do to prepare other than fill water troughs. We pretty much stay ready at all times. So if you're new to me, you probably don't know this, but my parents went through Hurricane Michael and lost a portion of their home. So hurricanes cause me a lot of anxiety. You'll hear a lot of people say, oh, just go get your water and bread. I'm more worried about my home. We did go through Idalia last year, which took down a ton of trees around here. So we spent the last year, August was a year, cleaning everything up from that. So a majority of our property is safe. Our house should not get any trees on it. Our main concern is always just the tornado spin-offs that those big storms can produce. And it looks like this one for now, we're going to either be in the eye or to the east of the eye, which is the worst part. My parents were 2 hours east of where Hurricane Michael's eye made landfall. And we're pretty sure, after looking like at the aerial view of where their house sits, we're pretty sure it was a tornado that actually took out the portion of their home. But of course, we're never sure. This is my mulberry tree. It's actually a miniature mulberry, and it's, I think, supposed to get about 6 foot tall. It's already, I think, I'm 5'6". It's already 6 foot tall. I planted this thing last year, y'all. I'm like, look how big that sucker is. So it had when I started, it had a bunch of limbs down here that I have already cut off. So what I did is I just took these limbs and I cut them off right at the trunk, and I stripped all of the leaves off of those, leaving a couple leaves at the top, and I have stuck them down in water so that they didn't wilt out here because it's still 90+ degrees outside in late September, almost October. So we're going to take these to the back porch to my little workbench, and I'm going to show you how I propagate these. I don't do anything fancy. Y'all know majority of the stuff I do is very basic. So let's go take these and make a bunch of little mulberries. I don't expect all of these to survive, but I will either sell them to friends, or we have a little auction here in town that'll take extra plants that you have, or just give them away or something. I just hated to toss them and somebody else could use them or have a mini mulberry tree. Yes, I planted this insanely close to my shop, but as long as I keep the backside of it trimmed, I'm not technically worried. Like I said, it is a mini, so it shouldn't get too much taller than it is now. Things planted up against, because we still do get frost here, so things planted up against this shop, I guess because it radiates heat, tend to do a lot better than our plants that we plant out in the open. Like my blueberries planted here have done way better than the blueberries that I have planted in my blueberry patch that's out in the middle of the open. My blackberries are doing insanely well here as well. This part of the property was my husband's grandmother's, and she had a tropical plant nursery. So the soil here, she's already basically got it, even though she hasn't lived here in I think 20 years, she basically had the soil perfect. So besides the little bit of sand that we hauled in to build up where this shop is, the soil here has been great for all of my berry plants. Unfortunately, it is really sunny and hot over here, so my vegetable garden I don't think would do well over here. But I have contemplated moving all of my raised beds to this side of the yard as well. So let's take these inside and I'll show y'all how I propagate them. There's a lot going on out here. I am trying to harden off my brassicas, and this heat wave that we're in is making it insanely difficult, so they probably look a little bit wilty. So I'm gonna go put these inside so that they hopefully come back. If not, we'll direct sow, because that's how we do it around here. Usually after an hour or so back inside where I started them at, they'll come back to life and look perfectly fine till I try and harden them off a little bit more tomorrow. This is a bunch of dragon fruit that I trimmed off of our, and we got the dragon fruit with the pricklies. Dragon fruits that I need to root as well. So I'm just gonna move them out of my way. Because I don't want to deal with them today. This is a big old piece that I had to cut off. My son loves these things, and wish I got a variety that didn't have the pokies. Okay, now that that's all clear, anyway, I thought one of my kids was coming out the door. If you buy groceries at Aldi, they put their vegetables on these little black plastic trays, and they are perfect for these 6-cell potting trays. I don't know. I don't know terms. Anyway, so these fit perfect, and this is free. Like, you could throw it away, but we're gonna reuse them. And I do. I reuse them all the time. Of course, I very rarely buy vegetables, so I only have 3 of them. But I have some seed starter in here. I have some more potting soil, but I'm just going to use this because I don't want to go all the way out to where I keep my potting soil. It's a little bit moist, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in. Sometimes I would pre-moisten it, but I'm just kind of winging this today. But you're just going to want to fill up your trays. These are pretty deep. Like, they're probably the 3 to 4 inch deep ones. They will root in these pretty fast and fill it up. So then I will graduate them to the solo cups once they do that. And once they root up in a solo cup, and you can start to see the roots on the side of the solo cup. Oh, what is that in the potting soil? A mushroom. Here I am freaking out, and it's just a mushroom. Anyway, once they fill up and you start to see the roots in the solo cup, that's when I would then transfer them to the larger pot, like what are these, 1 gallon pots maybe, which is where they'll live till I would transfer them to the ground or sell them to someone to transfer into the ground. That mushroom that I found a while ago is a good sign. Like, if your soil is growing mushrooms, it just means that you have healthy soil. It just freaks me out. It was like a little white squishy. I have a fear of frogs and snakes, so my reactions to things sometimes are a little extra. I typically use that blue bucket that I put all of my dragon fruit in to wipe my bench onto, any excess that falls on my bench, so I have to get creative on what to do with the extra soil. Now, the next time I go to use this soil, it won't be as damp as it is now, so I'll probably have to wet it before I use it again, but I shouldn't need seed starting mix for a while. Might try and start some artichokes again. I have 2 out there. And like if you were here for my artichoke thing, I got them to about 6 inches. And I can't ever get them a lot bigger than that. Like they look like they're gonna die again. They say we can grow them here, like IFAS does. They just must not like me or something. All right, let me go get some water and my rooting hormone, and I'll be right back. If you're unfamiliar with what rooting hormone is, this one's called Take Root. It's by Garden Safe. I got it at Lowe's. It's just a little hormone that you'll dip the end of the thing that you're trying to root into. Fig trees, blackberry bush clippings, anything like that. I'm just gonna set these down in these trays and add a little bit of water so that it can start soaking up into the soil that I put in here. Anything that doesn't get soaked up in like 10 to 15 minutes, I'll drain off. Okay, so now it's time to take all of these clippings that we got and get them ready to go into the soil. When you're looking for a clipping that you're going to root, you want to make sure that it's the new fresh green growth and not the brown growth that is next to the actual trunk, because that's an older part. So you want this newer growth right here. I go ahead and I strip leaves off, and I'm actually going to strip everything but this V leaf off, and then I'm going to cut it down to about 6 to 8 inches. Once I get it cut down to about 6 to 8 inches, I take my rooting hormone and I just dip the end of the mulberry stem into the rooting hormone and then take it and shove it down into the soil block. So you're going to do that for each of these blocks. Like I said, not all of them are going to survive and take root. So I'm just going to fill both of these blocks up. I may have more than that, but I don't think that I need more than 12 mulberry plants. So I'm just going to start 12. You want to leave I leave the 2 leaves above the V on. That way it can absorb sunlight, which is what helps it grow. If you strip all the leaves off, then. Now, I will say sometimes that all the leaves will fall off of these and they will still be alive and come back strong. The one that is out there, I actually killed twice, and you can see it's out there thriving now. When I transplanted it into a larger pot, it lost all of its leaves. I guess transplant shock. It lost all of its leaves. And then when I transplanted it outside in the spring, it lost all of its leaves again. They won't stay in these little cups for very long. Probably like a month, 2 months. And then they'll graduate up to the solo cup. I just kind of do this so that I'm not wasting a ton of soil in the solo cups, waiting to see which ones are going to survive. And we make messes when we're gardening. We can always clean them up later. So there's those. My nose is so itchy. I know y'all keep seeing me itch my nose, but it is so itchy. Must be that hurricane coming. Oh my goodness, I think I like did that perfect. I think there's gonna be like one extra. Wild. Go ahead and pull that one off. It seems a little flimsy. There are so many ways to do this. You could actually, and I'm gonna do this. We're gonna leave this one in this jar of water and compare it and see if it gets roots to the ones that are in these. And we'll see how it grows and see if it grows faster or stronger than these. Sounds like a good plan. Little science experiment while we garden. All of my gardening is a science experiment, but I am actually going to take these and put these under the grow lights. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, my nose is itchy. Anyway, I'm going to take these and put these under the grow lights where I have all of my brassicas, and then we'll just, every time the soil looks like it's drying out, we'll just add more moisture so that it's damp so that the roots produce. And in a few weeks, we'll be ready to up-pot them, like I said, to the solo cup size. I use solo cups because they're cheap, and I reuse these from when I buy extra like vegetables or marigolds or whatever you buy. And our science experiment. My kids are screaming. I better get back inside and figure out what's going on. But I'm trying to get better about remembering to video as I do things around here. Remember, this is all new to me, so thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have questions. I just want to show you how easy it is to propagate mulberry trees. If you need more blackberry plants, they're easy to propagate as well. So let me know if y'all have any questions.